One of them is Ifan Dani, who has practiced origami for over 10 years.
Wow.
And he also provides origami tutorials. So now we are connected with Ivan in Singapore, who will teach us about origami. Good afternoon, Ivan.
Hello. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Oh,
Good evening
probably
from
good
Singapore,
evening
yeah.
there in Singapore. So Ivan, thank you so
Yes,
much
you're right.
for joining us in the 3-hour news show. Now we see that,
Yep.
okay, that just fell off, but that is remarkable.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you made a dragon out of paper and using origami techniques. Is that true?
Yes, you're right. So, for example, for this dragon that you can see, it's entirely folded by one piece of paper and no cut. So right now, it is folded using a modern technique, which we are using structural way to design the origami. And this is one example of it. And I also have another one. For example, this one is a bird of paradise that is folded also from one piece of paper. You can see. Right now, we
Well,
can
good thing-
do the modern
Unbelievable.
design.
Good thing you explained that to us,
Right.
because I was gonna ask that question. I was gonna ask whether you use, more than one piece of paper, because it's
That's even better
Yep.
because I thought that was even plastic.
really.
And apparently it's
so
from
there's a
paper.
trick to that. Yeah.
How is it possible
You're right.
to be?
So there's a trick to that for this origami. So for example, when we just folded the paper, for example, for this origami, I'm using one piece of paper with different color on the side. So one side is yellow and another side is a little bit whitish. So why it looks more like a toy instead of the origami, or more looks like a sculpture, because we are using a mix of something called methyl cellulose to strengthen the paper.
Oh, I see.
It's still amazing with
Yeah,
one piece
but
of paper.
Ivan, in this digital era, how high is the interest for origami in public at the moment?
So there are different ranges of the category of origami. So for the modern origami, it's quite popular with the younger teenagers, especially like around 12 to 22 years old. So because they are more competitive, they prefer to fold something that are more difficult. However, for a simpler origami, for example, like traditional and something called like kusudama, forming a ball, it's more popular with the more children and also older ladies. So in Indonesia, there are a lot of moms who are folding origami, and sometimes they do that for the living.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
That could be another
didn't know that.
avenue for your income, no?
Yes, I should try. But you know what? I always get frustrated because I often buy books about origami, and there's the direction, right? Inside the book, fold here, fold there. But because it's 2D, it's confusing.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
confusing.
I always get frustrated, but I think if we learn how to do it via video tutorial, I think it would be better. Yeah, so anyways, my question is, when and how did you start doing origami? Have you always loved this since you were a child, or?
Yes, I was love origami when I was young, very young. I remember there is a book from my grandfather about folding origami airplanes, and I often fold it with my dad, often asking him for the help.
Yep.
But after that, I'm not touching origami anymore until I'm in the high school in Indonesia, right? So when I was in the high school, I was watching an origami competition, and I was mesmerized by the new modern origami. The first origami that makes me inspired, that inspires me the most is a dragon. So dragon origami.
Yeah.
So from there, I try to find a way how to design the origami or try to follow other people. Back then, I think YouTube was not really popular yet. So there are not many YouTube tutorials. So what we can do is only to find out the books and try, fail, try until we can fold something that we want.
I see. So I have a question here because just going back, and not going back, just looking at a lot of the stuff that are happening in the world, this is one of the things that I have always wondered if doing origami, because I think you have to spend a lot of time, right? Especially doing the dragon and, I'm sorry, the other one.
The bird of paradise.
Right, paradise there. I'm sure it takes a lot of time to do one. And is there a kind of a therapeutic kind of feeling when you're doing this, or is it nothing? This is just purely for satisfaction, something like that? Anything?
So, yeah, I would say it's a mix of both when I folding origami, especially when I try to follow instructions. It feels more therapeutic because if you are more experienced with origami, you already know the step. So along the steps, we just want to know what is the designer, what is the one that makes the diagram, what is their intention, why they are doing this, why they are doing that, and it's pretty fun. And there was also some type of origami that you need to fold repeated a few times. For example, a kusudama. It's also kind of therapeutic because you are folding the same origami over and over again. It feels like it feels very fun actually.
But aside from the therapeutic factor that you just told us, is there any other benefit of learning origami?
Okay, what I see from a lot of people in Indonesia, especially when the youngsters try to fold origami or trying to fold complex origami, what I see them first is their cognitive skill is very strong. So there may be some correlations there. So maybe people who likes origami, they tend to like challenge. They like to think something that are very complex, imagining 2D object in a 3D. Something like that. So I think there may be some correlation there, and I also think that origami makes you being more patient. You'll be more patient when you do more origami.
But this is actually a form of art, and usually if you call it an art, there should be a either like gallery or some certain kind of fair or convention. Is there any such thing for origami art?
Yes, but it's not really well known. There are some exhibitions that is happening every year. So I did my exhibitions once in Japan, and some of my origami has been sent to America. So there's always been some interest there, although there are not many.
Japan, even.
Super nice.
Amazing.
Right.
Last question for me. For you personally, in order to make one figure, do you look for instructions while doing it, or it's all in your head, usually?
So, okay, it's mostly trial and error. When I want to design something, for example, this dog, I always usually start with how to fold the head first. And after I found out how to fold the head, then I try out how to expand that to maybe start with the front legs, and then I try at the back legs. And after I managed to do it all, then I have one origami complete from one square piece of paper.
So you can pretty much make anything through trial and error.
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
should be a trial and error.
Wow.
Power of practicing.
Since you are with us today, I want to ask you and my fellow hosts to play a mini game called True or False. So it's very easy. I will say several statements about something regarding origami, of course, and you guys need to guess whether it is true or false. And then later, Ivan can clarify if they are true or false. Okay?
True or false? All right.
Okay.
All right. Statement number one: true or false? If a person makes 1,000 paper cranes, then all of their wishes will come true.
It's more superstitious, paranormalistic.
I'll do that.
Oh, yes, false.
Okay, both of my friends answered false. And the answer is?
Yes, it's false. Although there's a myth in Japan.
Otherwise, I would be
it's a myth that are
practicing.
very famous in Japan.
Okay.
Where I think there's a story of one young girl who are really sick, and she folded 1,000 origami pieces. I think her name is Sadako. So she folded 1,000 crane, and her wishes come true. She's getting better, something like that. That's what I can recall.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
But it's false.
It's an urban legend.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the landmarks in Italy where they say when you throw a coin, you'll be back.
In Duomo, let's say.
Duomo, that's
You're
right.
right.
Duomo.
All right, let's move on to statement number two. True or false? Origami initially came from China, not Japan. Someone's been paying attention to the news package. Okay, Ranga, what's your answer?
I answered false.
Okay, Hans answered true, and the answer is?
Okay, the answer is true.
Yay!
Because because actually paper was originated from China.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people in China, when they started making paper, maybe they found out the way how to make origami, and then they brought it to Japan. I think in the beginning, origami was used as a spiritual part in Japan by monks there.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Now, last one. True or false? Origami was originally named orikata.
How would I know that?
It's in the news package, I think.
Was it? No, it was not.
let me see
No. false.
Let me check.
that.
False.
Okay, let's just ask Ivan. The answer is?
That.
Okay. If you take a look into the internet, they will say that true origami comes from orikata, which means folding things. And it transformed into origami, which ori means folding and kami means paper. So it's becoming folding paper. But if you hear what I said earlier, origami comes from China. And in China, origami is not called orikata, it's called zhizi, right? So it's very hard to say whether it's true or false.
Can't say.
I give points to both of you.
We both got points.
Right, wow. You know what? We learned a lot
We
today.
learned a lot.
Big time.
Well, Ivan, as very brief as it is, we are very thankful that you could join us this evening and also to teach us a brief history of origami and also showing us what you've made with the papers, and those are exquisite. Ivan, thank you so much, and we hope nothing but success to you, and also take care there in Singapore. All
Okay,
right.
thank you.
But Ivan, apparently, I'm not enough of this. I just want to learn more. Okay, after
Me
the break,
too, me
Ivan
too.
will teach us
I
how
need
to
to
make an easy
yeah.
origami. Don't go anywhere. I'm sorry for that. I'm too much when it comes
You're too
to
excited.
challenges.
Too excited. Breathe. Breathe.
True or false? All right.